Welcome everyone. What if the plane in your hands could change the world? What if the thing that made your life harassed become the reason millions of people live illusion life today? This is the story of a quiet treated man whose finger hurt so much that he decided to revent copying forever. His name was Chester Carlson, a boy who grew up to face changes. Carlson was born into poverty. His family was allowed struggling. His father had Tombe Carlson's and could hardly work. Money was never earned. By the time Chester was just 8 years old, we had already turning to earn money. By 14, he had the main breadwinner of the family. After school, he worked at a print shop to help pay the bills. When he was 17, his mother died of tuberculosis. It broken his heart later in life. He sighed. This has once tongue had even happened to me. I so wanted to give here a few turning in life. But interest of giving up, Justin keep going. He read about inventors like Thomas Edison. He dreamed that maybe invention could be his way out of poverty. Maybe he could create something that would change his life and help others too. The problem that hurt his hands. Chastain worked very hard and earned a design in process. He got a job in New York, examining partner. That when his real problem began. Every day he had to copy legal documents by hand. Partner drawing technological paper, long paper of text. There were no as copy machines in the 1930s. If you wanted a copy, you had two choices. Send it to be photographed responsibly and show, or copy everything by hand. So choices set for house in the New York Public Library careful reading word after word. His fingers cramped his words assaults. He was also developing shop earnest the same design that had hung his father. His hands were cleaning him, and one day he asked himself a simple but powerful question. There had to be a beautiful way, a old idea about light in the library, a screen. Section Chester read about something called photoconductibility metalysis. They condensed electricity better when exposed to light. An idea formed in his mind. What if light could create an electrical image? What if powered could stick to the image? What if the image could be transferred to paper? If that worked, you could copy documents without warning them by hands. It sounded crazy, but Chester believed in it. Experiment in a tiny apartment. Chaucer began experimenting in his small apartment kitchen. He melted sulfur on his stove. He created electric changes by repairing surface with carton hand-drawn chief. The sulfur often chose free. The building filled with the smell of rotten eggs. On Klimbekis exported and Nebarty burned the place down. His marriage was not happy drawing this time. He let call it an unhappy parade interspersed with a sportist script, but he could no shop. The idea had taken over his mind. The first proper copy his history in 1938, Chester rented a small room about a bar in Queen, New York. He hired a poetry named Otto Corney to help him. On October 20, 1938, they tried something new. Otto worked 10:30:38 Astoria on a girl's heart. They purposed a zone plate curtains with sulfur. They darkened the room. They carried an electric changed. They placed the slot on the playlist and flashed bronze light on it. Then they sprinkled power it on the surface slowly, carefully. Their purpose was paper into it. What their life created the paper. They saved the work. 10, 20, 38 Astoria. It was the first proper copy in history. A small moment, a hook break things, reject again and again. A most thing companies recent to buy his invention that did not for 6 long years changed street to sell his idea. 20 companies side no big named like IBM Generation Electric and RCAL rejected him. Many people believe it the invention was initialized by 1944. Chester was almost ready to give up. Almost the birthday of Exhaust finally a small company called Haloid Company became interested. Its young president believed in the idea. They needed a better name than Electropojectopoli, so they carried a new word for Greeks. Greece meaning drew, Groupinst meaning writing. Exponential years of development followed in nearly destroyed the company finally city. Engineers worked without full pay. Their early maintenance were slow and complicated, but in 1959 something amazing happened. The relay said the exhaust 91 for the first time in history was a butter. Get a copy. It was magical. The Magings became a home success. The company later became Canon and Exhaust and it made hundreds of millions of dollars. Chester Carlson became one of the richest men in America. The most beautiful part of the story. This is where the story became different from most success stories. Chester did not keep his money. Whilst his wealth was growing, he quietly have more than 150 million to charity. He supported Chibir's right. He helped make apartment building recently intergented. He founded university, hospital, and library when a Majas listed him amongst the resourced American. He write to them inside. You estimated is too high by 150 million. He wanted to do a poor man. In 1968, at the again at 62, Chester Carlson did in a movie theater in Manhattan whilst watching a company. He did not do poor, but he gave most of his fortune, a plan that changed the world. Today when you post a button and get a copy in second, you are using Chester Carlson investigation. The man with hand hung so much then he could not keep. Cropping by hand, his pen became our competency. He strongly became our solution. His success became other people apparently. And L. Pieces on Tid men believe it. Their head to be a better way. In part 1, we saw how a poor boy with painful hands invested the first proper copy, but success did not come overnight. In fact, the real victory began after the invention, the year of waiting after creating the first photocopy in 1938. Chester told companies without be extorted. They were 4 years. He walked into office with hope and walked out with rejection. Extrovert looked at his rooms, copy and a small playlist inside. It's interesting, but on protocol, some did not even understand the idea. Imagine believing in something so deeply and watching everyone also debate it. Still, Chester did not show be important the process. He introduced more geometry. He refined the materials. He searching for anyone willing the listed most investors could here. Chester did not a small company takes a big risk. Finally, a small company in Roosevelt, New York side. Yes, the Holders Company. Its young president, Joseph C. Wilson, believed the investigation could change over work forever. But believing was one thing, building it was another. The technology was completed. It requested better methods, better engineering, and he finally calls Riggs. Haloid was not a guard corporation. It disfigured the company called Clopest, but they moved it forward. The choice changed history, the birthday of a new world. The original name elective photography was too technical, so they carried a new word from Greek. Exorts meaning dry, graphics meaning working, extroperity. Later the company itself would become known as Exorts. A brand name, the word became a verb. People would not say make a copy, they would say exorts it. This is when you went as invention has changed the world. The mechanic, this changed office forever. 4 years against worked day and night, some exported. Company stood instead of salary. They will be in the dream. Then in 1959 the breakthroughs Europeans, the Exorts 91 for it was simply pulled paper in, piece a better, grit a copy, not chemicals, no property party studio, no handwriting for house. Offices were imagined. The company exported modern sales instant demanded exported within a few years. Revenge jumped into hundreds of millions of dollars. The small Haloid company became a giant, and Chester Carlson became one of the recent men in America. But money did not change him. Here is where the story became powerful. Many people dream to becoming rich. Constant dreamed of helping others. Whilst his wills grow, he quality have it out. He wanted more than 150 million and in most amount at this time. He supported education. Wisconsin Hospital and Chim's right. He even bought a permanent building and made sure they were recently interjected something bold and mindful during the era. He did not seek attention, he did not boast. He believed money was a tool, not a transource. When a magnates listed him amongst the recent Americans. We worked back and quoted them. We sighed. We had already given much of if you. He on told his wife this is gold was to be a poor man. The final chapter in 1968 and again 62. Chester Carlson went to see a company movie in Manhattan. During the film, he suffered a heart attack. That was the end of his life, but not the end of his impulse. Today, billions of copies are moved everywhere around the world. Officers school coached hospital at use the system he carried, and most people do not even canon his name. The hidden lesson. Part 1 was about invention. Part 2 is about chapters. Choosing Carlson teaches us three powerful lessons your plan can become your purpose. Rejection is not the end, it is part of the January. Success means nothing if you don't not use it to help other. It was no learned. He was no famous in the beginning. He was on boundaries. He was simply a man which hand hard and who refused in a thought that tones had to stay that way. And besides to that refusal, the world became a source for all of us. At the end of his life, Chester Carlson had everything, had world Colson success, money, fame, rejections, a company that had changed how officers worked forever. But in his heart, he was still a small court boy who owned copies, documents by hand pieces. He had no other choice. Success came, but so did responsibility after he had success of the Exxon's 91.4, the company, the group from the small Haloid company became Exxon's. What would a Exxon's offers? Assaults America and them assaults the world. Depended on his invention, the word exports become part of everyday language, but choice did never become around. He did not buy ground, mansion just to slow power. He did not choose luxury for attention. Instead, he quietly gave you most of the 14. University received funding, hospital received support, civil right, original shown received help. He valued old's head, meaning only if it imprudent lives. The cult ending in 1968. Choice Tent was 62 years old. He had already suffered two heart attacks earlier than years. His heart was finally on every night. He went to a movie teacher a Manhattan to watch a company. It was a simple night, no big event, no celebration. During the film, he suffered another heart attack, and just like then, his life ended. No dramatics for oil, no ground spoke, just a cold ending for a cold gunners. What happened after him? After his death, exports continued to grow. The world moved from paper to digital, from photographers to printers, scanners, and cold stone. Technology changed again and again, but the foundation, the idea of dry copying using light and electricity, remembered his gift to the world. Every time some on a purpose a copy butter today. When enter a mechanic in a school in Bangladesh. or an office in New York. They are using the photocopy index over it in a small rented room about a bar in 1938. The real luxury changed her. Clerk's story is not just about invention. It is about turning pain into purpose, turning rejection into strong, turning wills into generosity. Or he wanted to be a poor man become he had been everything else. He almost did. Then is red. Many people become rich. Very few become mindful. The light message. If you feel told, if you full rejection, if you work film some small and in unsettled, remember it then a man with a sounding hand. On Beloved, there had to be a better way. The world said no. He sighed a well try again and besides he tried again the world changed. Thanks for watching and please like, comment, share and subscribe.